Hi everyone, welcome back to On The Record. I'm Nthabiseng, Mosieane, and we are close to the finish line. Today I have Richard Lukunku, the multi-talented actor. Richard, bonjour.
Bonjour, comment ça va?
Oui, ça va, merci. Bienvenue.
Merci beaucoup. Merci, je suis content d'être ici.
Oui, très bien. So let's get into it, all right?
Okay, cool.
Awesome. So you are on BloodPsalms. You play one of the most charismatic, one of the most charming characters I've seen on the series. You're probably one of my favorites. So before we get onto the episodes that I have, I'm just curious to know, how do you feel about your character?
I really enjoyed playing the character. I think I had been waiting to perform for a very long time, and everything just worked out. The universe made it work out, to meeting Jamil, being cast in this thing, and then getting on set and realizing that, okay, this is like a world, I can totally lose myself in it, and then pushing to lose yourself. I had fun, we were playing, also because all of the actors that I was working with are people that I had wanted to work with. I've worked with Zikona before, but everybody else, I don't think we've done anything. So I was excited to work with Mutusi. I was excited to work with Zolisa. So it was I really had a lot of fun. I thank God this opportunity came my way, I'm really grateful for it. Really, really, yeah.
That's wonderful. And we are going to talk about the intricacies of your character later on and how it was developed, because it's very unique. But let's just get into the series now. So yourself and Sitendra arrived from this great land, right, called Great Nziwemabwe. And you are the Senate Abun Rajabari, right? And you represent Great Nziwemabwe. So from your perspective, what does Great Nziwemabwe look like?
I mean, if you can think of what Egypt looked like. Look, Great Nziwemabwe in the story is based off the Great Kingdom of Zimbabwe, right? Okay. It was like what Rome was to its generation or to its time. That's what Great Nziwemabwe is to the times that BloodPsalms is capturing. So we've got domes, we've got pyramids, we've got huge castles, we've got people from everywhere, because at the time it was really like the center of trade and the center of industry in this side of the hemisphere, the southern hemisphere. So yeah, we are, if you could compare it to modern times, we are like the New York, the New York of that world. So, and we're pretty important. We run the provinces where the rest of the cast live in. We basically run it. We the shit. Don't fuck with us. Sorry, I'm not allowed to swear, right?
You're free.
I'm so
You're
sorry.
free. Don't worry. You're good. So, what is the relationship then between specifically the land of Akachi and Great Nziwemabwe, specifically to your purpose in going there?
Oh, okay, cool. Specific to my purpose, I've been sent by the Senate. So Great Nziwemabwe also based on usually, I think, if I'm not wrong, in Jamil's Bible, I think he wrote there were great civilizations, great civilizations were never really run by one man. It was like a Senate, people that made decisions, like the leaders of that time sit together and make decisions, So that Senate has sent me to the southern provinces. They have to yield back some land in the north, because as Great Nziwemabwe is expanding, they need more land to do whatever industry that they want. So we want that land back. So before the wedding happens, the king has to yield the territory back to Great Nziwemabwe so that we can do what we want to do with it. So that's the reason why I'm in the show. I've been sent to Stupid Akachis.
Yeah, no, your dislike for them is quite clear, and I think you managed yourself maybe up until episode 10 because it was a lot, like seeing all that chaos and what was going on. So
yeah, but they also played with me, man. You know, like I'm trying to see your king, and then you wasting my time, and then your general is banging my girl. Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like,
the merry-go-round of that whole situation.
Yeah. So of course I hate these snakes.
So I'm thinking about yourself and King Licha. Right, so they're delaying your meeting with King Licha. They're welcoming you, they're treating you like royalty. Everything you want is there. And then there's the preparation for the wedding. All of those things are happening. But I mean, I believe you're a smart Senate. You see what's going on. There's something not right in the air. And what is your thought process during that period?
So I mean, obviously, also the thing is that if you remember in episode 3, when I'm in the chariot or whatever that thing is, being pulled by the elephant, I was saying, like, I don't want to be here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be here. I've been sent. Also, at the time, being sent also for like is a sign of like you're still a servant to because you want to be important. So why is the Senate sending you? You know what I mean? Like you've been made. I'd rather be in Great Nziwemabwe and play the political game and rise to maybe one day also be a senator or whatever.
Yeah.
But being like the main leader in the Senate. So like being sent here is really a waste of my time. And then now that I get in here, first of all, when we coming, there's a comment. Also, they told us about this land and the witchcraft that these people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So obviously, already there, I'm like, okay, cool. We really are in hell here, and this is the reason why I didn't want to come here.
Yes.
And then as you get to discover more about it's also a chaotic house. Like it's it's not run in accordance to our status. I mean, I wouldn't want to live in Akachi land or be an Akachi. You know what I mean? Like, so I think for me, I've got a great disdain for these lowerlings that I'm being sent to. So obviously I can check that something's good. I think if anything towards the character, in terms of the character development, in like solidifying the action, there's more to this kingdom than what is being exposed. Is when Stenjiwa makes me drink and then makes me pass out, makes my character pass out, and then I vomit all of that stuff out, and then I go spy on her, and then I discover that actually and that we know him as the king's main guy, right?
Absolutely.
So why is she making nice love to the king's main guy? So there must be something. Maybe I'm being played here. I think I've come. Stenjiwa has also got her reasons for being here. So
yes.
I hope I've answered your question to your satisfaction.
Absolutely, because it what you say is a testimony to the everything that is happening there, right? And everything, and just like how it's really disorderly. And I think from an outside viewer, you are our person who's just stepped out and you can see everything. So with this Tandra, we see what's happening. Tandra sneaks off and she goes to General Tuka. You obviously are aware of it, but you haven't confronted her yet. We are currently on episode 9. Since that time up until now, why haven't you confronted her? What are you thinking? Like, what is going on?
I think that, obviously, like, you're not gonna... So, Stenjua is not really... She's my girl, but back in Nziwemabwe, the character is married, right? Like, but it's sort of like those political marriages, like back in the days where... But it still happens today, where to ensure that you have some form of influence or yielding some form of power, you get married to the right families. So not to say that, like, I don't think we really explored that much. So I don't know what is his emotions towards his wife, but he's in a power couple type of like marriage. And those days, man, you had concubines, and those things were allowed for people that I think, I might be just talking rubbish, but anyway, I mean,
but we can
people
imagine
of power,
it wasn't.
Generals had concubines.
It wasn't out of the norm. It wasn't out of the norm in that situation.
Yes, it wasn't out of the norm.
But with her, the role is reversed, right? With Tendra, because she's a woman. And it's like her agency, like she knows the agency. So I know she sneaked back, but she went back to her lover to go, from what we know, to go and close or just reconcile and talk. So, and I get it. I think it's like it's a double standard power play in a sense. So it's just, I guess, it's just a general curiosity as to what is the Senate thinking about. Oh, so my chick is there with General Luka. WTF, like what's going on here?
Yes, so I'm not saying send you as my concubine. I'm sure that you can see that in a conversation, I don't know, in episode 7 or something, where they're busy talking about what they can do, like they're plotting together about the Akachi house. So definitely you can see that she has some sort of influence on the general, the senator, in terms of his rise.
Right.
Great woman.
Like work-wise.
Also, I think the general is smart enough, the general is smart enough not to confront her until he has a clearer sense of what is going on. So I guess in his mind, he's busy plotting, like, okay, cool. So obviously here I'm being played, but let me just see where all of this leads to. You know what I mean? So I think that's what he's even writing the letter.
Yes.
Oh no, we are there, right?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Oh, okay, I was like you on my head. Yes, writing the letter, he does it in front of her. Yes. So obviously he knows, he's giving information that, because he saw her sneaking to the thing, he's giving information, and he knows that information is going to be shared with people now. You know what I mean? So I think he's plotting. He's plotting. He's trying to see where all of this leads. You know.
He's very smart in that way, and then he's still maintaining a cordial business-like relationship with her, because I'm sure she has some kind of stature in great Nziwemabwe.
I think so. I'm sure, because also like what she wears, I think people used to wear who they are, So she wears some regalia here that is royal type of vibe. So she must have, and she's smart, so she's not gonna. She must have risen to the top somewhere, somehow,
Yeah. Absolutely. So now we're going to get into episode 9. The precursor to episode 9 is that in episode 8, you do meet the king finally. But you meet the king in a very strange look. He's naked and he's blood-stained, right? And
that's right.
Already, for me, that's already a cause of concern for you seeing him. That's just what I'm thinking. And then at the end of that episode, he goes and cuts off his tongue. So I'm just thinking to myself, what in the world is the Senate thinking? Firstly, when you guys have the conversation, are you happy? Is it a satisfactory conversation? And then when it leads up to that space, you must have come to some kind of conclusions.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that was the cutting of the tongue was like, okay, cool. So obviously the senator is also power hungry, right? So if they've come to, because in the letter that he writes, he's saying that this kingdom is going down. I have to sit on the throne for a little bit until reinforcement comes in. Like these people have lost it, there's chaos here. So obviously, if he's sitting on the throne of the Akachi, that's power, that you're yielding now on the southern province, like you're the senator there, but now you're sitting on the throne. So I think that it's an opportunity that he had to seize, right? But the solidifier or the main reason why he made that decision is like seeing the king up the. First of all, yes, the conversation wasn't satisfactory because the king comes through on his kingly tip, and then he's like, "What is it so important that you need to see me?"
Yeah.
And then I tell him, "Yo, bro, you were lost. I was here. Your people didn't tell me where you were. You know what the people from my kingdom have said. They've asked for this and this and this, and then I think he just looks at me." Like he just he looks at me, and we cut. So that's it. The conversation didn't go any further. The next time I see the dude, this homie is busy cutting his tongue off, trying to be like. So obviously for the senators, like, okay, cool, this is my opportunity to try and see where this can go, but this is definitely power. If I go back to great Nziwemabwe, having sat on the throne and fixed everything, you know, and then allowed obviously we're not at war with Akachi. We've conquered them.
Yeah.
They are our, you know, they are our lowerlings or whatever. I don't know that word. The director would. But anyway. So
yeah. Okay. So yes, so then you write the note. You've concluded that the land is in trouble and we need to make a decision. As you are the advisors, the senator.
No, the decision is that I sit on the throne, yo.
Oh.
There's no decision to, yo, what decision we need to make? I came here, I saw, I'm about to conquer. You know, sorry.
Right, so that is what you are on about. And then okay, fine. So then it's amazing because then after that, we see you slowly start to take matters into your own hands, right? And then we see these superpower guns that, I don't know what they radiate, what comes out of that. That also for me just makes me think it was such a, is it advanced civilization? So it's very interesting to me. And also maybe, could Great Nziwemabwe be more powerful than the Akachi land? Because those weapons were super powerful. So tell me why you decided to make that decision to attack the soldiers slowly.
Yeah, first and foremost, Great Nziwemabwe is like what America is, okay?
Yeah.
We see what we like, we go, we take over.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's what we, so we are very much more powerful than these little Akachis.
Yeah.
Yes, so based on Jamil's thesis, you know, it's the first time I've ever worked with a director that had like a Bible of explaining why he's telling the story, you know, which was also one of the main attractive things to work with him. But anyway, in the Bible, he had written like 2 pages based on archaeological evidence that there was electricity in Egypt, right? Mm-hmm. So if there was electricity in Egypt, it's not too far-fetched to believe that Great Nziwemabwe also had electricity. It's based on Kush, it's based on those kingdoms. So there was electricity in those kingdoms. So that gun that we have shoots electricity. Like, I think one of the soldiers in one of the episodes actually winds it up, and then he shoots. But yes, like basically my character goes into a room where his soldiers are gathered, where he tells them that, you know, these people have lost their minds. You see like what they're doing. So we really need to restore order, you know, into this kingdom. And we start attacking, obviously, the soldiers little by little to weaken them. You know, we're not gonna, and to catch them off guard. Because if we make too big of a noise, I think because we're in a city, right, they can really maneuver around us and take us down, right? We're in a foreign land, so obviously we have to strategically take over the foreign land. So we make sure we get Zdumo, who's one of the strong generals. We break him down. We break down other soldiers that might be a threat. You know, we neutralize them. So it's a strategic move. So we had to go for the soldiers first because they're the first line of defense, I guess.
Absolutely.
The last,
So, and okay, cool. So that is, in a sense, episode 9. And I'm curious to see what's going to happen with the last coming episodes and just the ending of BloodPsalms. But just specifically now talking about your character, I think it's, as we said in the beginning, it's an incredibly unique one. Was this character crafted for you, or was it a general character and then you brought it into life? Because you speak Swahili, you know, and Uzikwana spoke such great things about you, and she praised your performance and how you guys worked together. So just with the development of your character, how did that come about?
So I was called to the living room, so I don't know if they wrote it for me necessarily, but I was called to the living room in Mabone, and then Jamil was like, he's doing this thing. There's this character there. He's thinking of me, and I was like, okay, cool, definitely, yes, please, I'll do it. And then he wrote the script, and then we got hit by the pandemic, and then he changed the script. He rewrote all the 10 episodes,
Okay.
right? He rewrote all the 10 episodes, and then so I had read throughout the pandemic. I think we only had episode 1, 2, and 3. I think throughout the pandemic, but then when they came back, he had rewritten them, and so I had quite a while in terms of developing the character, but from the get-go, the character was going to speak Swahili, because what we had imagined, or what Jamil said, is that just like Rome, there's a whole bunch of people from all over the world, right? And then they all speak Roman, but when they're amongst each other, they speak their language. So my character, I think I explained it to the king in episode 11, or I explained it to the council in episode 11, 10 or 11, where I'm from. Like soldiers came to soldiers from Great Nziwemabwe came to raid our village. They killed all of us, and then luckily I survived, and then they took me in. So I know my language, and people from I think one of the guy that I'm always with, I forgot what, or my lieutenant, or the guy that I'm always with is one of my people from the village. So we speak in Swahili. The rest of the soldiers, sometimes it's different things, but it's so, because it's a concoction, whatever that word is, of different people.
I'll
you know
put
what
it
I mean?
here.
Yes, please, yeah, put it there. We're just like, I put it there. When I do that, you must put it there.
I will do
but
it.
anyway, so, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Should there be a season 2? If it's possible, should it come around? Would you like the world of Great Nziwemabwe shown in BloodPsalms?
Yeah, I think so, definitely. But I think the production company definitely needs much more budget, a lot more budget.
Yeah.
A lot more, because the potential, just like what they pulled off with season 1. Imagine if they're given like top budget. You understand what I'm saying? What in terms of even creating the world of Great Nziwemabwe, you know, of course, if a season 2 does happen, it's only right that the soldiers from Nziwemabwe may become or whatever, you know, and then we are introduced to that world when they realize that people have been lost or whatever. I don't know, whatever, but yes, definitely there has to be. It would be nice to explore that African greatness of that time.
Yeah.
It would be nice for people to explore how it was. Yeah.
Yeah, because essentially the way that we see BloodPsalms, it's the tip of the iceberg, right? We're just seeing just the very top of this large world.
Exactly. Yeah. So it would be nice to see the whole world, meet new tribes, you know. Who's in the council in Great Nziwemabwe? Who's asking that stupid general has been gone? I mean, senator has been gone for so long.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You know, who are those people? That would be dope. You know, to have those people, and yeah.
So lastly, what has BloodPsalms meant for you? The experience from the time it began, throughout the pandemic, coming back, and to see it now on the screens. It's been a very long process, and it's been a very unique production regarding the circumstances, but to see it come to our screens, what has that meant for you as an actor, as a creative, and also being a part of this production?
Look, man, it's inspirational. I was on this show a very long time ago, and they had also built like a world, right? And then when I stepped onto the set, it's in I forgot where we shot it, man. Where's that place? Anyway, the Citadel. It was amazing for me. Like, I was like, wow, this is like a South African production. These are like, and that one was an international, the other one. So I was really humbled. I was like, wow, like the possibility, like we really can do this, you know, like these guys are really fighting to pave the way for us who are coming in behind them to really flourish and express ourselves too in the different ways that we want to express ourselves. So it's very satisfying for me. I really had a good time on BloodPsalms. I'd always wanted to work with Jamil as a director. There's, growing up, even the actors, there's legends I can tell you about Mutusi, Nthabiseng, there's legends I can tell you about all of these people. And then to finally be somewhere where, you're interacting and playing with them, like sitting in Mutusi's green room, I was like, wow, like this guy, I watched him on the lab, when I was grade 10. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
he was on the lab and he killed it. And I was like, he's right here in front of me.
Yeah.
Then we go act together and he kills it, so I was really happy. Hopefully, like the people can get are fed, because we really did our best, try to open up our minds, which is important. Those things were real, Yes, it's a fantasy, but that was real. That is real. It's possible. So you create whatever you want to create, anything is possible if you believe. So no, I'm happy. I'm really happy. I had a good time.
Yeah.
I had a good time, and I hope that shows in my performance.
It absolutely showed. It absolutely showed. You were infectious, and your character was so unforgettable. So well done, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Oh yeah, it's time.
It is. Richard Lukunku, thank you so much. This was such a pleasure. I am gonna enjoy putting this together and then putting it out there. So people must just make sure to continue watching this, and we are nearing the end. Man, it's been amazing. It's been an amazing ride.
Yeah, the end begins.
The end begins.
Thanks
so
much. Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool.
Awesome. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay, you too. Have a nice party time.
Bye.